What up, pimp? I have set a timer just now for 30 minutes, and we're just going to see what happens. I want to talk about authenticity, this idea of being authentic, and I think what a better way to have this kind of chat than by playing Lawnmower Simulator and enjoying time in nature as God intended. For this video, I encourage you to keep watching all the way through if you want to hang out. Mostly because I feel like this is very old man of me, but we live in this time where distraction isn't just available, but it's almost encouraged. And don't get me wrong, I contribute to that, right? I make content. I'm a content creator, obviously. And I see the value in it. I see that, when you make stuff, you're making someone's day a little easier sometimes. Sometimes people have rough patches in their relationships or in their job, their career, their, finances, family. And distractions are important. My cats are rolling around right now. It's really funny. They're so confused why all this gear is set up and it's just me. It's just me today, by the way. I don't have any team here. And that's something else I wanted to talk about, this idea of authentic connection, like me and you, right? I don't want to edit this video. I'm not going to edit this video in terms of sheer, cutting it down. In the industry, we call it trimming the fat, as you would a steak, to make a video much more economical, right? The stuff that's left behind is just pure, perfection. But I don't want to do that this time. I don't. I want to spend 30 minutes with you. I want to see if I can do this. I don't even know if I can finish this beautiful lawn in time. But anyway, we're talking about authenticness. What does that mean? For me, I don't know. It's been the word of the month for me. I keep thinking about authenticity and what is that? What is that? What am I looking for? For those of you who don't know, I am 30 years old. That is wild. I look like I'm 24. I get carded everywhere I go, usually. Oh, I'm cutting it the wrong height. Oh no, I'm cutting it too short. Sorry, I have to mow the lawn at 6 centimeters, and I was mowing it at 5, and I think I'm gonna get fined for that. Oh, and I'm destroying flowers. This is going horribly. But this whole thing about I'm turning 30, and what am I doing, right? I'm making content about relatable situations, and I'm making content that's sketches and funny things that people go through or absurdist things that nobody goes through, and I love it. It's the best job in the world. It's my favorite thing. And don't before you start thinking, oh God, he's burned out. I'm not burned out. Okay, I have more energy towards this. It was a matter of me figuring out my schedule to be able to sustain the kind of stuff that I make. But I think I figured it out now. I'm not burned out at all. Okay, so don't worry about that. I love my job. I'm never, ever, 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 ever going to take it for granted. And I plan on doing this until I die, dude. I plan on being an entertainer at least until I croak. And that's the truth. Everything you've seen from me has been this like highly packaged, highly vacuum sealed presentation, right? Like everything you've seen was super edited, super scripted. And what's weird is you don't, oh God, I'm destroying these flowers. What's weird is you don't get to like know me that way. Not that you need to, you don't need to know me, you know, that's fine. But I feel like there's a piece missing because, you know, when I make stuff and I present it, it's almost too vacuum sealed lately. It's like almost too void of life. And I got a comment recently, like today, that said, you know, because of this new like 4K thing I'm going for, you know, more produced looking. I got a new videographer that's more knowledgeable about lights and stuff. Because of that, it just looks kind of awkward, right? It looks like too polished. And there's some weird in-between space on YouTube where, I mean, even Mr. Beast spends millions of dollars on all of his videos, but he only shoots them in 1080p. So why is it that I'm pursuing this 4K thing? The answer? I don't know. I'm just experimenting. I'm figuring stuff out like everybody else. I don't know. I really don't. But it's fun. You know, it's fun to try. It's fun to see what I'm made of. It's fun to see what my team can make. The whole reason why I made Igawala was literally just like a showcase of what I can do today. You know? I want to know what I'm made of before I die. I want to know what I'm able to do, what I'm able to like maximize, and I think making 4K videos hilariously is an angle. I don't know if I'm locked into it. I don't know if I'm always going to be doing that. But it's what I'm doing. I'm trying stuff out. And that's it. But enough about me. Let's talk about you for a second. Do you scroll on your phone all the time? I do. I've been looking at my screen time lately. Literally 4 to 5 hours a day, every day. I think my average screen time is something like 6 or 7 hours, which means I just lied about saying 4 to 5 hours a day. It's a lot. It's a lot of screen time. It is too much. It's so much, in fact, that I added a widget to the homepage of my iPhone screen just so that way I could look at the amount of screen time that I have. So as soon as I open my phone, I'm confronted with the sheer amount of hours I put into my phone. And instead of it acting as a deterrent, it's almost acting as like a high score meter now. Like it's almost as if every day I look at that number and I think to myself, oh God, I must beat that score. And that's not what I'm doing. There's no intention behind that. It's just what happens to happen. Very terrifying. And, you know, I know that it's always been a thing, like, oh God, they're spending too much time on blank, right? Like, for example, in the 50s, it was like, oh, they're spending too much time on the TV. And in the 20s, it was like, they're too much time around the radio. And before that, it was like, too much time reading newspapers. They're never going to get anything done. Maybe it's just like a byproduct of being a human being, you know? Like, we're all curious. We're insanely, insatiably curious, and we always need to be checking in on what's going on. If I wasn't on my phone at 3 a.m. last night, I would have known that Jimmy Buffett died. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have known this morning, but I wouldn't have known as immediately. And R.I.P. Jimmy Buffett. I will have a margarita at some point this week in your honor. That's not what we're talking about, though. We're talking about authenticity. What is this idea of being authentic? For me, a hyper-controlled YouTube guy who makes sketch comedy and scripts absolutely everything that I write, this is my slight attempt at being authentic. This is my slight attempt at just going for it, man. Just showing you guys what I'm really like when I speak for 30 minutes straight. And and I'm mowing grass. And this is, I don't know what it is about this game. It's this game and it's Power Wash Simulator. But dude, if I play these games where I'm just like monotonously doing something, I'm able to reach this living nirvana where I can speak at length about absolutely nothing. So you're probably going to be seeing more videos like this of me just gabbing for a while, mowing grass. And that's okay. I almost want to upload this like once a week at least on my second channel, Thrasher Plus. That's where you're probably seeing this right now. But I digress. I digress. Yeah. Anyway. Authentic. What is authentic? I meet people, you know, I have meet and greets, and I do VidCon and stuff like that. For those of you who don't know, that's like a video makers convention where everybody gets to hang out. And people know me a little bit. I try when I write my scripts to like put in my personality as much as I can, my opinions, you know. For those of you who watch my stuff, Hoodie Guy is more like me than I am like me in my stuff. Very odd, I know, but 'tis what 'tis. And it's difficult. I used to have this, just to, long story short, I used to have this Facebook page. Do you remember? Some of you probably don't, but back on Facebook, like when I was 14-ish, there used to be fan pages for things like sleep. So you would scroll and you'd be like, oh, Deborah likes sleep. Wow, that's funny. Haha, sleep has 15 million likes. So there's a Facebook fan page with like 15 million likes on it that's just dedicated to sleep. It was like this stupid, quirky thing that happened in the past. And I created one of those groups when I was 14. And I forget the name of it. It was something along the lines of like, when you were in kindergarten, if you could spell Mississippi, you were considered a genius. That's where that video title came from, by the way. That's on my main YouTube channel. But I made that thing, and it got like 200,000 followers in like a week. It was my first time going viral, ever. I was 14 years old. Maybe younger, I don't know. Or maybe older. I actually don't remember how old I was. Moral of the story, I went viral really quickly by Facebook terms, and I didn't know what to do. The page wasn't about me. It was about this thing that I made. A joke, right? It was a joke that went viral on Facebook. And what I did with that in my teenage brain, what I did was I freaking started posting personal stuff on there. You know, I posted stuff like, hey guys, my girlfriend is in this competition. You know, you should vote for her, right? Which is an abuse of power and influence. But I didn't know any better. I was just trying to be good to my girlfriend. I would be like, it's her birthday. Can you vote for her for this design competition? Thanks, that'd mean a lot to me, the owner of this page that you give a shit about. Yeah, they don't care, you know. And so in me doing that and me posting like my personal opinions and in me posting stuff about my personal life, the joke got sour. There was too much of me in there, and I lost like most of the followers on that page, right? I lost so many followers. And because of that, I learned this lesson by accident. I learned this lesson of, hey, shut up. It's not about you. It's about the things that you make. And because of that, I decided early in my YouTube career that it's not about me. It is about the things that I make. It's about how funny I can be and how many jokes I can squeeze into a minute. It's about, you know, shooting a good video and making it look good and packaging it so that way it speaks for itself. It's its own living thing. It's like giving birth every time, or, you know, I know that's really dramatic, but in a sense it is. It's like, it's an idea baby, right? It was formed in my mind, and it's something that I'm presenting to the world, I hope it can walk on its own, and it should be able to speak for itself. I shouldn't have to stand over your shoulder and go, sorry, the lights were messed up. Sorry, the microphone was messed up. I wish I could fix it, but but anyway, isn't it funny? No, you're not going to care. It's about the thing that I make. It's about the thing that you make, and you present it to the world. It should be able to speak, walk, and talk for itself. And I learned that lesson early, and hey, because of that lesson, I got pretty successful, I think. Well, I don't think. I know. I'm not trying to beat around the bush here. Well, I literally am in this game. But the concept is like, how much of me do I put into my stuff versus how much of it is like soulless content, not art? How much of it is just distractions, stuff to prevent you from thinking about the hardships in your life? I don't know, man, because we all have hardships, right? Even me, sitting in my ivory tower in Los Angeles, yeah, man, there's stuff going on in my life that is rough, and that's okay. Like, it's just a part of living. It's a part of being a human being. There's stuff going on in your life that is rough, and that is, I want to say okay, but depending on what it is, maybe it's not okay. And that is also okay. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a normal thing to not be okay. Like, it's just phases. It's all these pieces of your life that mesh together in this beautiful mosaic that everybody gets to look at when you die. Like, it's a part of your story. It's a part of your journey. This right now, this me being on this lawnmower, is a part of my journey right now. And thanks for joining me in this journey. Anyway. Oh, I missed a spot. Oh, look at that patch right there. It's gross. Oh, man. Candidly, this just feels like what I imagine shaving parts of your body feels like. You know, oh crap, I missed a spot. That kind of thing. Anyway, straying away from that. I hope this is doing anything for you. I just want you to know that, like, you know, your favorite content creators out there, like, maybe your favorite content creators are the ones who are more authentic. They might be. They might be the ones where you're like, hey, he reminds me of my friend from high school. He reminds me of my friend from blah, blah, blah. Or I wish I had a friend like that, or I wish I had a big brother like that, or, you know, when you hang out with people in real life, it fulfills a need within you. It fulfills this, like, this, we're all social creatures, right? And I think in this day and age, he says, cliche AF, we're getting all these hyper packaged, like, porcelain, shiny presentations, these like abstractions of the human experience, and it's dangerous, for the lack of a better word. It is literally dangerous. It is dangerous in the sense that it's going to trick you into thinking you have these social experiences when you don't, because social experiences are interactive. And yeah, you can leave a comment on somebody's page. You can make a reply video on somebody's page, but I bet you're proofreading that comment. I bet you're editing and reviewing that video that you're responding to. I bet you've done a couple takes, you know. That's why Colleen Ballinger's like apology video landed so poorly, was because it was so hyper packaged. It's this uncanny valley of like the human experience. It's this like weird sociopathic presentation of like human emotions. It's not right. It's not. And I don't know a lot about her situation. I don't know a lot about it. I'm just saying, like, the reaction that came was because it was so unusual. It was so hyper packaged. It was in song. Like, that's why people don't like musicals sometimes. It's because it's not authentic. Who sings in the middle of something in the perfect rhyme scheme? You know, you have to suspend your disbelief a bit, right? It's this idea of suspension of disbelief. That's what they talk about in theater. You go into a theater, and I think the average time is 7 minutes. So, like, you're like, oh, look at that actor, look at these costumes, look at this, blah, 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 blah. For the first 7 minutes of a show, you're thinking about the presentation of it all for the first 7 minutes. And then after that, hopefully, you've suspended your disbelief. You have transcended into this, like, magical plane of being able to think in metaphor, like song, for example. You're able to buy into this world that, hey, Oklahoma, the land of corn. I'm there now. What year is it? The 50s? You know, that's what that is. That's what suspending your disbelief is. And now we live in this time where we're all making presentations to each other, and we assume that your belief, your disbelief is suspended or something. Like, we're operating in this membrane of reality where nothing is authentic and everything is authentic. Like, even this right now, it's an overcast day in LA. Otherwise, maybe I'd be outside, or maybe I'd be doing this still. But even now, I'm giving this 30-minute realness from me, from my heart, to you. And I hate saying the word heart. I think the word heart is a stupid word, poetically and in song. I have never liked singing the word heart because it's on diphthong, and I shouldn't be talking about that. I think I'm done with this side of the garden, and I don't think I'll be able to finish in time. I've only got like 9 minutes left. But look, authenticity is rare now. That's my thesis for this whole video. It's rare. It's even if you got people such as myself on the internet going, hey, I suffer from anxiety. I suffer from, ADHD. I suffer from, being authentic in that way, sharing my like mental things with you. That's authentic in some way. Yeah. But I'm going to edit that, and I'm going to present it in a polished way to where, you're not seeing me freak out and like pace around a restaurant 3 times because I got too much gristle in a steak and it's causing this like panic attack experience. I'm not going to film that. I'm not going to show it to you. And if I did, you would think I was freaking weird. You'd think I was a weirdo because I would be. I would be a weirdo if I did that. All right? I would be a very strange person. You remember that clip on TikTok that was going viral about this girl who was like processing my 8-year-long breakup or whatever, and she was like screaming and crying and kicking, and snot was coming out of her face, and she was like sobbing. Oh God, I'm destroying so many of these flowers. That video is freaking weird, man, and a lot of people were making fun of that. I don't know if rightly so or not. That was a real authentic experience, maybe, or maybe it wasn't because she had to set up the camera. Moral of the story, dude, we're all just trying, right? We're trying to present ourselves. It's like we live in this cellophane wrapped time where in order for us to reach people, in order of us to feel seen and heard, you have to be on Instagram. You have to be on Twitter/X. You have to be like putting yourself out there in this time in order for you to catch up. Even like older folks, in their 60s, 70s, 80s on Facebook, they have to put photos out there. They have to put a description out there so that way they can meet their high school person or reunite with people from high school or middle school or whatever, their best friend Robert from, the 1960s. They'll be like, oh, Robert, how you been, man? Oh, I'm good. I'm racist now. Oh, that's okay. Unfriend. That's what that's like. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the fact that every single person on this planet, if they're not putting themselves out there, they are missing out on this new hybrid cyborg experience that we're all going through. We're all going through some weird cyborg experience where your phone is a second brain to where you don't have to remember as many things, and you're not flexing your big fat juicy hippocampus as much as you used to, and that's fine, I guess. But we're all cyborgs now, dude. This is new. It's new. We've never done this. Like recently, like 20 years ago, we were not all carrying around supercomputers in our pockets. We weren't. We went to the moon on less technology that's in your freaking, like, toaster oven. You know what I'm saying? It's freaking weird, man. It is weird. Ugh. In the pursuit of being authentic, I'm sure you've experienced this too. Or maybe you haven't. Maybe it's just me. You ever looked at flights to Wyoming, Oklahoma, freaking Nebraska? You ever done a staycation nearby? You just want to like veg out in the middle of nowhere for a week, maybe 2 weeks? I certainly have been doing that a lot. Why? I watched this documentary on Bill Gates. He talks about doing this thing called a think week. All he does, he takes a sack of books, he goes to this little lake house, and he does nothing. He disconnects for a week, and he's able to think. Maybe that's why people meditate, so they can embrace the silence. I think that's something I need to do in my life, is meditate and embrace silence. You know, it's not about getting rid of distractions. It's about getting comfortable with myself, getting comfortable with the world. This like plane of existence that human beings evolved with. Quiet. Looking out on the plains, the grassy plains. Going hunting for and gathering for berries and boar. Thinking, deep thought, you know. Not every single second of your life has to be drowned out by noise. But it feels like it, doesn't it? It feels like it now. Or you're wasting time. And as a creator, I try to be careful with how I contribute to the noise. And I think more creators should too. Don't think that I'm like deep in thought here. Don't mistake my silence for being deep in thought. I just had to really focus around that roundabout. I'm going to say something at the risk of sounding inauthentic. But it's not inauthentic. You, the person watching this right now, I care about you. I really do. Because I am you. You know? Like, I sit down and I scroll and I browse YouTube and I fall asleep watching YouTube videos on my TV. I fall asleep to noise. And I care about you so much that I really do think really hard lately about the stuff that I put out there, because I want it to do something. I don't know. I want it to be, I don't know if the word is healing, cathartic, memorable, a way for you to bond with friends. You know? I want it to be something that that shows that I care and something that you can care about. And it's okay if you don't. I'm just trying. I'm just out here trying. And that's it. Me doing this right now, talking for 30 minutes straight, is the closest thing to being authentic outside of me playing piano for an hour or two that I can think of. Anyway, what time are we at? That's it. I want to finish. How much is left? Oh, I'm almost done. I'm going to wrap this up off camera because I told you this would just be 30 minutes. But thanks for watching. If you liked this talk, let me know. All right. Oh, isn't this microphone freaking hilarious, by the way? I bought this because it looked like a pastor microphone, and I just think that'd be the funniest. That's like the funniest microphone ever. Anyway. Okay, I'm going to go now. Goodbye. Thank you for spending time with me. And yeah, that's it. I'm going to turn off the camera now because that's what we do. Okay.